Good morning, it's Joyce here from Sharing God's Love. If you enjoy my videos, why not hit the subscribe button and you can be informed every time one of my videos becomes available. Well, this morning I wanted to share with you my testimony because I don't think I've ever really shared it on here. Well, I was born in Dundee, Scotland, and I was raised in the Church of Scotland by my mother and my father. They were very active in the church. My father was an elder and he sang in the choir, and my mother sang in the choir as well. So while I was young, I believed in God, but I didn't really know about Jesus, and I didn't know that God loved me. But every time I was in trouble or worried or scared, I'd say a prayer. I'd pray to him and ask him to help me, and sometimes I'd promise to do things in return for him helping me. But needless to say, I never kept my promises. The only time Jesus was ever mentioned was at Easter, about his death. And then the preacher would just make us feel guilty, that it was our fault that Jesus was put on the cross because of our sin. But they'd never tell you what to do about it. So I just carried on and grew up and became a teenager and pretty much made a mess of my life because I was looking for love. But that kind of love can only be found in God. So by the time I was 25, I had 3 small children and I was making a really big mess of my life. I was extremely depressed. I felt that life wasn't worth living. I didn't really have any close friends, and I kept doing all sorts of stuff that wasn't really very helpful to me. Well, one day I went to the doctors. I can't remember why I was going to the doctors, and it was a different doctor from the doctor that I normally saw. And for some reason, she felt like she was friendly. So I opened up to her and told her how I was feeling. Unbeknownst to me, the doctor was a Christian. And she said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put you in touch with your local church." And I remember thinking to myself, oh, I believe that when I see it, because my experience of people was people who said they'd be your friend, but then they didn't be your friend. So I just went home, and lo and behold, a few days later, this leaflet came through the door, and it was from the local Methodist church, and it said all the times of the services on it. And somebody had taken the time to put that through my door. And I was impressed by that because I thought, well, they've taken the time to do that. So I should really give them a visit because they've gone to all that trouble. So that Sunday, I got all the kids ready, got myself ready, and I went to church. And people were really friendly. I was surprised by this, how friendly people were. People started giving me the phone numbers, inviting me round. And one person said, well, would you like to come to our Bible study? I said, oh, yes, I would like to come to your Bible study. So I can't remember what night the Bible study was on, but I went along to the Bible study. And that night they were studying a passage out of Isaiah. And the passage in Isaiah went, when you go through the deep waters, I will be with you. And even though you go through the fire, you won't be burned. And immediately it was like God was speaking to me personally. I just thought about all the times in my life when I'd been in a mess and he was looking after me all that time, not letting any harm come to me. And suddenly I just felt this rush of love come towards me. I felt God's love come towards me. And I started crying because I'd realised how much God loved me. And in that moment, I decided that I was going to give my life to Jesus. And I've never looked back since. And I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you to those people all those years ago that showed me love, that showed me God's love, because this video is about how much God loved me. And he sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for me. And yes, there was something I could do about it. I could give my life to him. Nobody ever told me that I could give my life to him and that I could be changed, that he would give me a new spirit, that I would become a new person inside. That part of me is perfect now. My spirit is perfect. And I just want to say now how much I love him. Thank you for listening.